Welcome to the deep dive.
We're exploring insights from Horse and Chariot, which it's this great source blending old Christian wisdom with some very practical stuff for, today.
This deep dive tackles something I think we all wrestle with sometimes.
Definitely. That feeling of knowing what's right, but, find it really hard to actually do it.
Exactly. Our source material gets into this using the idea of disordered passions. It's all about that internal struggle for control.
Yeah, the material sets up this, core contrast. On one hand, you've got what it calls a well-ordered soul.
Okay, what does that look like according to the source?
Well, it's where your intellect, your reason, is basically in charge. It directs your will, your choices.
Right.
And that will, guided by virtue, kind of steers your passions. All those strong feelings, desires, impulses.
So intellect leads, will chooses virtuously, passions follow, aiming for something good, like the source says, maybe even God's will, regardless of how you feel.
Precisely. It's about alignment towards a higher purpose, the source suggests. But then there's the flip side.
The disordered soul. And this is where it feels pretty familiar for most of us, I imagine.
Yeah, this is where the source says the will kind of goes slack. The passions aren't being guided anymore.
They take over.
They take over. They start leading, running wild even. And the material is clear. This isn't just messy. It actively clouds your thinking. It overpowers your will.
So you end up being driven by impulse, by emotion, desire, whatever hits strongest in the moment.
Exactly that. You're chasing the immediate feeling. And that, the source explains, is why we have that internal fight.
The knowing versus doing gap. You know what you should do? Maybe your intellect even agrees.
But you feel pulled so strongly by that passion, that desire, you just can't seem to choose the right thing. It really highlights how crucial our inner state is for our actions.
It connects internal order or disorder directly to what we actually do.
Right. The source references things like overcome evil with good. But it asks, how can you possibly do that if you can't even manage your own internal landscape?
If your soul isn't ordered right, your mind's foggy, your will is weak.
Then acting against what's right becomes, as the source puts it, not only likely, but easy.
Easy. Wow. So the source argues someone like that isn't truly free, even if they seem wild or unrestrained.
Exactly. Brings in that really powerful St. Augustine quote about the wicked man who reigns.
Oh, yeah. Though he reigns is a slave. Not of one man, but of as many masters as he has vices.
That's the one. Enslaved to every single unchecked passion. Powerful image.
So what's the way out, according to the material? Is it just about gritting your teeth and trying harder?
Not quite. It's more about reordering the soul, specifically by aiming for a higher purpose. The Force frames it as seeking to glorify God, pursuing virtue.
And when you start orienting yourself that way,
the idea is you naturally start to desire and, love what the source calls good and fitting. Things like prayer, service, moderation, stuff that might feel hard otherwise.
Right. And that cultivated desire then fuels your choices, makes it easier to choose the good.
That's the suggestion. Conversely, someone with those disordered passions might actually hate or avoid those very things.
Prioritizing comfort, indulgence, their own immediate satisfaction over maybe a deeper sense of purpose or will.
Exactly. Which leads to that Marcus Aurelius idea the source brings up.
Life is neither good nor evil, but only a place for good and evil. So life's the arena for this struggle.
It is. And the passions themselves, the source uses this great metaphor. They're like horses, powerful, full of energy.
And you're supposed to be holding the reins.
Right. If you let vice grab the reins chasing pleasure without direction, those horses pull you towards harm.
But if virtue holds the reins, guided by that higher purpose,
then that same energy pulls you towards growth, towards flourishing.
That's a key distinction, isn't it? The source isn't saying crush your passions, get rid of desire.
No, not suppression. It's about harnessing them, learning to steer them with wisdom, with strength, through practicing virtue day by day.
So even when things are tough, when you're tempted, those strong feelings become, what was the phrase?
Fuel for the fight.
Fuel. I like that. Not the enemy, but the power source, if directed properly. A fight for something beyond just self-control.
Yes, and the ultimate aim, drawing on A.W. Tozer, is developing a desire for God that supersedes all other desires. That's presented as the goal of the ordered soul.
Directing all that passionate energy towards the good, with intention.
So wrapping up, the source's core message really seems to be that the state of your soul, ordered or disordered, dictates your freedom. Augustine's quote nails that.
Life's the arena. Passions are the horses, and we choose the driver. Vice or virtue.
And the path forward isn't about killing the horses, but training them through virtue, turning that energy into fuel for a higher purpose.
Fueling that ultimate desire.
Which leaves us with this thought from the sources to maybe chew on. Think about your own passions, those strong desires and emotions, not just as things to control, but as potential fuel. How does seeing them as energy to be directed, rather than just impulses to be suppressed, change how you view them?